Hello, this is Kelly Acheson coming to you from Menasha, Wisconsin. Today I'm going to show you how to make this really pretty card with a few tips and tricks in there that I've done. If you look closely, it's got kind of a shabby chic look to it, and I'm going to show you exactly how I did that in the background. So let's get started. First of all, I took my chevron embossing folder, and I'm just going to put down a scrap sheet here, and opened it up, and I'm going to ink it up with baked brown sugar ink. And you're just going to give your embossing folder on one side some baked brown sugar, and then on the other side I'm going to ink it with Pool Party. And I'm just pressing lightly. I don't want this to be real dark. It doesn't have to be perfect either because it's shabby. So the first thing I'm going to do is take my 4 by 5 1/4 close to cocoa cardstock, and I just want to tap it. I don't want the whole thing to be imprinted. So I'm just going to lay it down and tap it, lay it down and tap it, and this is what you get. So it's very shabby, and it's great because nothing about it is perfect. And then I'm also going to take my little layer that goes on the front of the card and do the same thing in the Pool Party side of my embossing folder. Do just a little bit here, see? And then another little piece. And you can see that it's very uneven. Okay, and as long as we've got this out, I would like to stamp up the inside of my layer because I'm going to decorate that just a little bit. And I just want it on the edges. So I'm just going to take and tap it a little bit, and this is what I get. And do the same thing. You can see I'm doing this without even re-inking again. And it just gives a little decoration to the inside of my card. Okay, I'm going to set that aside. And then we're going to stamp our words. And today I'm using the Crazy About You stamp set. This is a new set in the Occasions catalog. And it does come in photopolymer, which I'm absolutely loving. So I've got Crazy About, and I'm going to ink that up and close to cocoa ink, and I'm just going to stamp it one time. There we go. Crazy About. And then I've got a scrap here to stamp my flower. And this big flower has a matching punch. So we're going to punch that out with this beautiful flower punch. Let's see if I might have to snip the end off of it here to get my punch into it. Okay, here we go. And this flower is symmetrical, meaning that you don't have to move it all over the place to get it to match up with our punch. Punch that out. And then I'm going to start putting my layers together. And I always like to use my multi-purpose liquid glue, and I like that because you can slide stuff around if you don't get it just perfect. It works really good for me. Okay, this layer is 1 3/4 by 4, and then the bottom layer, which is also Pool Party, is 2 by 4. So I'm just going to add that to my card front. And I call this technique folder tapping. You could also run it all the way through your Big Shot with the ink on it and get it to impress, but I kind of like this look. So then I just took a little glue and glued my flower on. And then what I did was I also stamped 2 more flowers, and we're going to cut them out on the lines. The Close to Cocoa is the bigger area, and the Pool Party is the smaller area. And then through the magic of television, I've already cut those out. I just did it with my scissors. A little bit of fussy cutting there. And we're going to line this up right over the flower. And now when you try to do this, sometimes you need to move it around just a little bit till you find the perfect fit. And I think I have it here. I've got dimensionals under these layers to raise them up. And here's my Pool Party layer. And then I'm going to add some rhinestones. Here's my rhinestones. And I like to do that with our paper piercing tool. So I've got one big rhinestone here that I'm going to lift up and put in the middle of my flower. And then I've got, I'd like to add a layer of 5 here, but we'll have to wait until we cut out our U. Okay, so our card is looking pretty good here. The next little tip that I wanted to show you has to do with our framelits. We have some very intricate framelits in the Occasions catalog. This one is called Hello You Thinlit Dies. And what I've done is I've just cut them out, die cut them, and put them on a sheet of cardstock in here so I can look at them and know, oh yeah, there's my hello. So we're going to use the U framelit, and you'll notice that these framelits have a bunch of little holes in them, and that's so once you die cut you can push everything out of there, your cardstock will come out. But what I found with these intricate dies is that they stick pretty good. Your cardstock sticks in there really good. So I've learned some tips from some fellow stampers, and one of those tips is before you use your Thinlit, you're going to take 4 of them. So I'm going to take 4 of them, and these are all just folded up. There's nothing special about them. They're just, you know, generic dryer sheets. You can get unscented ones, and I really recommend that because dryer sheets are very strong when they haven't been used. Hang on a second, let me get my big shot out here. And I'm going to lay the dryer sheets on my cutting pad, and then you're just going to run your framelit through your big shot without any cardstock. And what that's going to do for you is it puts some type of a coating inside the framelit that then allows it to come out, come off your cardstock really easily. So you don't have to use wax paper in the unit. I was using wax paper in between my cardstock and my framelit. You don't have to do that. So that's a pretty neat tip. And I thank Judy from Fond du Lac for that tip. She showed me that the other night. Okay. So now we're going to take a scrap of cardstock. I've got one, and I just left it folded the way it comes out of the box, one dryer sheet, and I'm going to lay my cardstock on it, and then I'm going to put my framelit in here. Now, another tip that I found is these word framelits, if you put them through so that the whole word is going through your machine at once, they don't die cut as nicely as if you run them through the long way, so only a part of them are getting die cut at a time instead of the whole word this way. So we're going to run it through our machine like this. And again, make sure you have your cutting plates below and on top with the dryer sheet, cardstock, and then framelit. And notice, no wax paper. I just love this. I'm thrilled that Judy showed that to me. So here's our die cut image, and now you'll notice that my word framelit just kind of fell right off of my cardstock. If you don't do the dryer sheet technique, or at least use wax paper in between, you have to pull this up and then dig your cardstock out of there, and that's why all these holes are in here. So I avoided that, which is awesome. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to just pick up my die cut. Do you see how I'm pulling that out of here? And look at how everything is staying right on the dryer sheet. Now you got to be careful with this one because these are little intricate words, but holy cow, you don't have to poke anything out. Super simple. So there's your wonderful tip of the day. I'm going to bring this back, and the way that I like to adhere these very thin little framelits is to use a two-way glue pen, and I just dot it. I'm not like coloring it. I'm just dotting it on here. You don't need everything to have glue on it. We just need it in the parts that might stick up. And another way to adhere these to your projects is to use the stapler, and that works really good too. So here comes my U, and I'm just going to tap down. Whoops. And sometimes it gets stuck to your hand like that. That's okay. They really do stay together. There's our cute little U, so I'm crazy about U. And then the last thing I want to do is I want to bring some more rhinestones in there. And when I use the strip of rhinestones here, I would like 5 of them. I just bring my snips in and cut in between so I can just pick 5 up at a time, and that works really good. And we'll just set that right down in there. And we have our card base. gonna add some glue to that. Put that on the front of our pool party card. This is 4 1/4 by 11, scored at 5 1/2. Put that there. And then we're not going to forget our inside that we made. I always like to do a little something to the insides of my cards. It just makes them a little extra special. And I'm going to put this right here. Okay. And then we have our absolutely adorable card with our folder tapping technique. So if you'd like to see more wonderful ideas and techniques, please visit my blog at astampabove.com. Thank you.